Well, hey guys, what's up? It's your boy, one and only AR Legends, and yeah, guys, today I am back with another series for you guys, which is going to be what if Naruto was neglected by his family and became power hungry. So, yeah, guys, hopefully, you guys will like the series, and yeah, guys, I have not forgotten about my previous series like Naruto the Destroyer, and after this one I will upload the next part of that one as well. So yeah, guys, stay in tune for that. And yeah, I have also uploaded a video on my other channel, what if Naruto was experimented on by Orochimaru and had unlimited chakra. The link of that video is in the description below, so please guys watch it, and I bet that you guys will definitely like it. So yeah, guys, without any further ado, let us start the video. But before that, I would like to make a request to all of you guys who are watching this video. If you guys are new to the channel, or if you guys have not subscribed yet, please guys do so. It would be really helpful to me, as I want to reach 20k subscribers, and you guys subscribing would be really appreciated. And yeah, guys, the link of my Instagram is in the description below, so please follow me on Instagram. So without any further ado, let us start the video. So I'm going to start my story as a figure could be seen dashing through the Hokage monument as he arrived at a secret location and started to go through hand signs as seals started to appear from his hands, and going to a secret area as the chamber finally opened up as the figure started to walk inside and put his hand to the walls surrounding it, as the walls started to shine as there were several seals blocking the area, as all of them started to disappear. As the figure finally arrived to the area, in front of him there were three coffins. As the figure had a small smile on his face, as suddenly all the coffins opened up, as the figure started to go through hand signs, as seals started to spread from his hand, rushing towards the coffin and started to surround all the dead bodies inside of the coffins. These dead bodies were none other than Hashirama Senju, Tobirama Senju, and Hiruzen Sarutobi, the last three Hokages of Konoha, as the figure eyes could be seen. Blue eyes with dark red hair smirking inwardly as the seal started to come back towards his hand, and just like that, he vanished from there like he was never there. Now we can see that in the Chunin exams, Minato Namikaze was looking down towards all the members who has made it out of the second round of the Chunin exam. His proud and joy, Menma and Ruko, his prodigy children, the children of destiny by Jiraiya Sensei, as he smiled towards them. Obviously, they made it with the Uchiha Sasuke. As he smiled towards them, and then he looked toward the rookie teams. The Konoha heirs also arrived, but then his eyes met with a one figure as a frown came to his face, as it was none other than his oldest son, Naruto Uzumaki Namikaze. As he had a frown on his face, he has somehow made it two unknown, you can say, not relevant teammates of his were able to make it out of the forest of that, but they had some poison in their veins by some deadly gas, and they, after arriving here, after some time, they died. But since he made it with his teammates, he cannot be disqualified with that. He really did not care about his other teammates, whoever they were. He does not even remember the name, as he sighed inwardly, as Kushina was adamant that Naruto should give up being a shinobi. That was the reason he always put distance between Naruto and his children, as well as his godparents and his parents as well, because Naruto had low chakra reserve from early childhood, and Kushina did not wanted him to be a shinobi. So he denied him, seeing that how Menma and Ruko were more important at the moment. But Naruto started to train, so he had to ask his Ambus to stop him. The only thing he allowed Naruto to train on were only low level seals, and which will not put him above the level of level 3, so he cannot make other than, you can say, explosive notes. After all, seals were dangerous, so since he was an Uzumaki, he allowed it to that happen. Other than that, he did not want Naruto to be a shinobi just like his mother, because he thought that it would put the whole destiny and the premonition in question. But he simply shook his head as he gave his speech, and now the matches were about to begin. As all the, you can say, matches began, and now it was time for one match as the board started to show Naruto Uzumaki Namikaze versus Kiba Inuzuka. as both the figures started to walk, as Naruto had a blank expression on his face as he walked past by his family, as Naruto smirked. Huh, well, we are not going to visit you at the hospital, loser. As she smirked at that, as Menma started to laugh, as Kushina simply gave Naruto a look, as saying that how he should not be here and he should give up being a shinobi, as Naruto simply ignored both of them, as he simply walked passed by all the rookies who were simply giving him different looks, mostly smirks, saying that how he was gonna lose here. As Naruto was now standing in front of Kiba, who was smirking as he looked towards Akamaru. Well, Akamaru, we got the loser, the failure of the family. Huh, it's about time that we put him in his place, wouldn't you agree, Paul? As Akamaru barked, as Kiba gave Naruto a smirk. Well, loser, I'm going to give you an opportunity. Why don't you give up and you would not have to be humiliated by me? An alpha, as Naruto did not say anything as he simply folded his hand and spoke up. Huh, are you gonna bark only, or are you actually gonna fight me? As Kiba narrowed his gaze. Huh, so the loser wants to go to the hospital as soon as possible. Well, Akamaru, let us begin. As Akamaru barked, as Kiba said, huh, I will finish this in a single attack. Fang over fang, as he rushed towards Naruto with his technique, as Naruto simply looked towards both Kiba and Akamaru coming towards him as a smirk came to his face, a devilish smirk. Some of the Jonins noticed that, but it was only for a second, and just like that, Naruto moved with blinding speeds, and the next thing they noticed, both Akamaru and Kiba were sent flying. And it happened within seconds as both of them slammed into a wall, especially Akamaru, that he got knocked out in a single attack as Kiba was barely standing, as he could not understand what actually happened as he looked towards his partner. His eyes wide and blood was leaking from the mouth of Akamaru as he glared towards Naruto. You bastard, you're gonna pay for that! As he quickly brought out a pail and ate it, and just like that, his attributes doubled as he rushed towards Naruto, as most of the Jonins were shocked to see that, as Kuronai grabbed the railing as she looked towards the Jonin sensei of Naruto. It was none other than Abiso, and one of the, you can say, most useless Jonin there is, as Kuronai asking Abiso, what are you teaching that brat? How is that even possible? As Abiso was shocked at the same time, he only taught Naruto chakra control by the orders of the Hokage, nothing more than that, and his other teammates are dead. He taught them the same thing anyways. So he looked down as Naruto once again looked towards Kiba as he said, huh, well, Mutt, is that all you got? Perhaps it's a time that I put you in your place. After all, the dog which barks at his own owner is to be put down. And just like that, chakra chains erupted from his back as Kushina could not believe her eyes. How is that even possible? Neither Menma and Naruto inherited the chakra chains as Naruto grabbed Kiba. As he said, what were you saying? Me being a loser, Kiba? Well then, it's about time that I put you down, you mutt. And just like that, Naruto slammed Kiba into the wall at such a speed that many of the competitors could easily hear bones breaking as Kiba let out a scream of pure pain and agony as Naruto brought him upward and slammed him into the ground and then to the wall, then to the roof, all over the place as Kiba was barely hanging on to conscious as just like that Naruto was standing at the center of the stadium, his both of his arms crossed, and Naruto released Kiba at such a speed that his face slammed into the wall near Akamaru as both of them were planted into the wall unconscious. As there was dead silence, Minato has his eyes widened. There was nothing of skills Naruto showed here, but he showed brutality against his own comrades. As he, you can say, looked towards Naruto in utter shock. With ease, he defeated him. He doubted that if Naruto did not have chakra chains, he would have lose either way. As he looked towards Kushina, who was looking towards Naruto in utter shock, as they had a plan that they would have to distance Naruto a little bit, and so that they can pay more attention to Menma and Naruto, only giving him seals to work on, and not training him in, you can say, the training, knowing that he has lower chakra reserves, thus cannot even produce a single chain. How did Naruto get that kind of chakra reserves to make 6 chains? It was not easy, damn it. As the proctor finally arrived, checking the pulse for both Kiba and Akamaru, both of them were alive as he looked towards Naruto with very expression on his face as he said, "Winner, Naruto Uzumaki Namakaze," as Naruto simply started to walk up to the whole area as he walked past by Naruto. Are you not gonna visit Kiba as well in the hospital, Naruto, Menma? As both of them were too shocked to respond to his reply as Kushina looked towards Naruto with longing in her eyes, but she did what she had to do. Naruto had to understand that he was not cut out for the life of a shinobi, and she had to, you can say, push the matter now. She was hoping that Naruto would give up on his own, but she has to go to the bottom of it. Naruto did not have the chakra reserves of Menma, Naruto, nor Kushina, so she thought that he was not ready for the life of shinobi, so she did not wanted him to be a shinobi. But Naruto simply walked past by all of them and took his, you can say, place by Abisu, who was looking towards Naruto with weariness in his eyes. They only did D rank mission and one C rank mission, and that completed the quota for them to enter into the Chunin exam. He thought that they would be disqualified in the first part, but that did not happen, and now this he never knew that Naruto was this talented, nor he had that kind of speed because he moved at least too high Chunin speed for him to kick both Kiba and Akamaru out of their jutsu fang over fang. And after that, the next matches began, and the preliminary exams finally over as Minato gave just the speech about 1 month break, and after that they would have finals and all the nobles that are going to come to the final of the Chunin exam. And after that, all the teams were dismissed as Abisu looked towards Naruto. Well, Naruto, maybe we should start thinking about training you for the finals of the Chunin exam. I think that you should work on your basics and we would work on perfecting your Academy 3 techniques that will help you in the final of the Chunin exam. As Naruto looked towards him with a look as Abisu started to sweat a little, Naruto simply ignored him and walked past by him. And after that, all the finalists finally, you can say, disappeared unknown to them. After all the area was cleared, a shield started to appear all over the stadium where all the fights has occurred, and just like that the shield disappeared and Naruto simply blinked and a smirk came to his face. He could feel it, the power that was rushing through his veins as he smirked at that and simply walked away. While on the other hand, Minato and Kushina were in the Hokage office and Jiraiya has just arrived as he said, "Hey Minato, I heard that man my Naruto passed the preliminary exams. I told you they're gonna dominate it all." At that, Minato nodded at that. Well, Manma Naruto did pass the preliminaries and the second part of the Chunin exam. But we have something to tell you as well, Sensei. Naruto somehow passed the exam as well, and he even defeated one of the clan heirs, Kiba Inuzuka, in the preliminary exams as Jiraiya was shocked to hear that. "Minato, what are you talking about? Naruto does not have the chakra reserves to even lost the second part of the Chunin exams, and after that he had to recover for at least a week to be participating in the preliminaries, and after that defeating a clan heir. How is that even possible?" As Kushina speak up, "I do not understand, Jiraiya sensei. Tsunade told you that how Naruto chakra pathway were not good at that, and how his body does not generate a lot of chakra. Then how is this even possible that he generated 6 chakra chains out of his body?" As you can say, Jiraiya was shocked to hear that as he said, "Wait a moment," as he slammed his hand to the ground as a toad appeared. As he sent it to find Tsunade, and after some time Tsunade appeared, looking a bit annoyed as she looked towards Jiraiya. "Jiraiya, what's important that you call me here?" As Jiraiya looked towards Tsunade and explained the situation, as Tsunade was shocked to hear that. When Naruto was born, his chakra reserves were so low that he was barely alive, and after that, they had to, you can say, give him a lot of therapy in his chakra pathway to activate his chakra when he was just a child, which put more strain in his chakra coils, thus giving him a lot less chakra. As a genin, he had only the chakra reserves of a academy student, and he didn't. It was not simply possible as they looked towards Kushina, are you absolutely sure that Naruto was able to create 6 chakra chains? Because where I stand, it is not possible. His chakra reserves does not allow that. As Kushina simply shook her head, I do not know. He was able to move at a high Chunin speed, and after that, he was able to knock down both Kiba and Akamaru, and after that, he defeated Kiba in such a manner. I do not understand. How is this even possible? As Tsunade started to think, I do not know, Kushina. Maybe it is the Uzumaki heritage that allowed his chakra pathway to heal themselves over time, and now I think that his chakra pathways has grown up to the level that if you can say good enough for a Janin or even a Chunin, but being able to create six chakra chains is not a joke, Kushina. As Kushina nodded at that, as she said, so we should examine him once again. Are you saying that? As Tsunade nodded at that, maybe we should send for someone to find Naruto, and after that we will have some tests to see that if Naruto really has, you can say, his chakra pathways has really healed themselves. This is a good news, Kushina. As at that, after saying that, she decided to take her leave as Kushina had a saddened expression on her face. So what was the cause of it all of it, Minato? If he was gonna heal, then what was the reason that we push him away? As Minato sighed, Kushina, you have to understand, Menma and Naruto are the children of destiny. Even if Naruto was fully healed, you already know that we would have to push his training a little back. Don't worry, we will work hard, and after that we will get him back into the family. If his chakra pathways has really healed up, then it's a good news for him. He can continue to be a shinobi. As Kuchina sighed, Minato, I do not want to be him to be a shinobi. How do we not know that it is only for some time, and in the future he will get even more hurt? I do not want to do it, Minato. So I am using my rights as the Uzumaki. After the finals, I'm going to strip him of his rank, and as the head of the Uzumaki clan, he will not be allowed to be a shinobi. As Minato was shocked to hear that, Kushina, you have to. As Kushina said, no Minato, I have made my choice. I'm not going to allow him to hurt himself. Being a genin was alright, but becoming a Chunin, that would put even more strain, so I'm not gonna risk it, Minato, no matter what you or Tsunade say. After saying that, she left the room as Minato sighed. As Jiraiya said, don't worry, Minato. Naruto is not as important as Menma and Naruto. We should pay more attention to them. And the finals are coming, so we should get ready for the training. While far away, Naruto was standing at the center of the forest of that, as he looking down towards some of the shaded skin, as seals started to appear from his hand and started to surround the shaded skin of the snake Sonin. And after some time, the seals came back to Naruto's hand as Naruto's eyes narrowed a little bit, but then a smirk came to his face as he stood up and closes his eyes, and just like that, nature chakra started to rush towards him at abundance as his eyes suddenly snapped open as snake-like eyes were in it, and he has entered into the sage mode as he smirked at that as he burst into laughter and years of humiliation in his so-called village, years of humiliation in his so-called family, calling him a outcast, a loser, people calling him a demon because he has whisker marks on his face, saying that how he was influenced by demon himself and all the things. He has snapped. His family has only given him seals, the access to lower level seals, but no, he was an Uzumaki. He went deep and beyond. He was able to crack the protection seal that was around the Uzumaki Namikaze library, entering into the deep library itself and getting the scrolls which he needed for his further training. He was able to develop a seal, a masterpiece to examine each and every part of a body, dead or alive, even a single cell, being able to drive the potential of that cell or body and giving it to him. His body was able to accept that. The first thing he did was to get the vitality that of a Senju as a smirk at that. So not a Senju was giving him a touch. It was so easy. She was drunk, and all he had to do is to grab her hand, and just like that, the seal appeared to her body, and after that, it disappeared. And after some time, it was his first project. He got it right. He got the vitality that of a Senju. His body healed rapidly. His chakra pathways developed so quickly, and after that, it was so easy. He got all the, you can say, secrets of Konoha like it was a nothing. And now he even got the body and the Kekigenkai of Hashirama Senju, Tobirama Senju's water affinity, all the five affinities of Hiruzen Sarutobi, and now even in Chunin exam, while all of those people were simply sitting down, he got the knowledge of Kushina's chakra chains. He could have gotten it early, but it was so easy for him to get all of those people there. And after that, he even got the Sand King's power and some of the Kyuubi's chakra from his sibling, the One Tail's chakra from Shikaku, the Jinchuriki, the ability to use sand, and now so much chakra residue that was present there, even the ancient chakra residue, to the point when Tobirama Senju was alive and people like Hiruzen Sarutobi were at his prime. As he smirked at that, he could feel chakra surging through his body, and now from the shattered skin of that snake, he has gotten some knowledge of the sage mode. He has gotten the knowledge from Hashirama's body, but the sage energy has already left him. So he did not have complete access to the sage mode, but now someone who has meddled into the art itself, now he has gotten it from him as well. As a smirk at that. His sage mode, he's gonna work on that. One unlimited source of chakra. Who was he to deny it? Peoples were fools. And people like KGs, they had unlimited reserves of chakra in the world, and they just let it go. No, he was not that fool. He was gonna harness the power, the chakra of the world. No, even the universe. He will have all the Kekigenkais. He will be the one supreme being. His eyes shine. At three Tomo's Sharingan started to spin in it. He really and really profited from the Uchiha massacre as he started to laugh like a maniac. And now, you can say, let us go into the finals. 1 month, Naruto is not to be found. The many of the Ambus tried to search him, but many of them were sure that he was in the forest of that because of some of the explosion and one of the chakra signature detected in the forest. But whenever Ambus went there, they were never able to find him because of some barriers that were present there. So they reported it back to Minato, who thought that Naruto has developed his Fuinjutsu skills even further than he previously thought. So he must have developed a barrier for his own training to keep the animals out. So he simply thought that after the finals, he will have Tsunade examine Naruto's body so that they can understand how did he had his chakra reserves and chakra pathways healed up. Now we can see that Naruto was sitting down into a dome and he was meditating. Nature chakra was rushing inside of his body and leaving at the same time. He was able to harness a lot of nature power, but there was a problem. He had to balance his natural energy like chakra, the spiritual chakra and the physical chakra with the nature chakra at the same time. His body was able to adapt to that, but the problem was that he can only take so much of nature chakra. He really did not like that. Why? Why was there unlimited reserves of chakra and he could only take a drop from the ocean? That was the world, the universe itself, and he really did not like that. So there was, you can say, he was able to brought out one small, you can say, solution for that, which was really temporary at the same time. He thought that his body was like a cover and he was trapping nature chakra inside of his body, so he thought that why not allow his body to be a pathway, just like that was the world itself, a pathway from where nature chakra was entering and leaving at the same time, and his other spiritual and physical bodies chakra are balancing it with itself at the same time, thus allowing him to enter into the sage mode unlimited for unlimited time. So it was a solution, and just like that, he was able to create a seal like it was no problem. He was really a genius in terms of seal. So he got a solution for entering into the nature chakra for unlimited time. But he really did not like that. He wanted himself to contain the chakra of a whole world. And he will have it no matter what. For now, this will do. And he opened his eyes and his eyes started to spin. The Mangekyo, the eternal Mangekyo Sharingan was shining in his eyes. All the, you can say, samples he got from all the Uchihas, his Sharingan started to evolve at such a rate, and after absorbing the essence of Hashirama Senju, his Sharingan somehow evolved into the eternal form. He really didn't understand how that was possible. He thought that he would have to exchange his eyes for someone of his own blood relative who had the Mangekyo, which was not possible. But Hashirama Senju's cells were really something else, and he could feel it. His eyes were evolving even further. This was not the limit of his power. This was not the limit of his eyes. His eyes will evolve even further to that of the ultimate level, the Rinnegan. As he smirked at that, as he vanished in a blur, as he arrived to the arena, as all the proctors and the participants were present there, as the proctor spoke up. Alright then, since all the members are present here, as you look towards, you can say, the area where Naruto was standing on. Now, the first match is going to be Naruto Uzumaki Namikaze versus Neji Hyuga. And after saying that, all the other participants simply decided to leave while the proctor was also present in the arena. As he looked towards Naruto as well as Neji, as both of them had appeared, as Neji smirked towards Naruto as he said, well, the fate has already declared you to be a loser, so why don't you accept your fate? And after that, as Naruto looked towards the Proctor, why don't you start the match? I really do not want to join his so-called religion of faith. The Proctor snickered a little bit, but he said, alright then, are you guys ready? As Naruto gave a nod, Neji, with a glare in his eyes, looked towards Proctor but nodded nonetheless. As Proctor jumped back, alright then, the match begins. Now, as Neji smirked, well, as I was saying, the fate has already declared you to be a loser. You're a failure, the outcast of your family. So why don't you give up? And Naruto simply raised an eyebrow. Well then, as much as I hate to hear about this so-called fate of yours, why do you believe in it? As Neji started to go on to the tantrum that how he was genius and how he was destined for victory, and Naruto, the fate has already declared him to be a loser. As Naruto said, but the way you're saying it, the fate decides everything, right? As Neji nodded at that, as Naruto smirked at that, well then, slave, the fate has already decided you to be just a bitch of the main family, nothing but a slave, a servant. So why don't you understand your position, Neji? You're fated to be a slave, a servant, nothing more than that, by your own logic. So why are you standing here? As Neji's eyes narrowed, angered in his eyes, his blood started to boil. What did you say, Namakase? It's not to smirk at that. Well, as I was saying, you're nothing but a slave, a servant, while I, on the other hand, still have the highest standing. I still have the Uzumaki blood in me, and I am, unlike you, I am not a sidekick of the main family, as Neji lost it after that as he rushed towards Naruto blindly, not even activating his Byakugan, and he met with a punch to his nose, cracking it, and all the people were shocked. One moment they saw Neji rushing towards Naruto with blinding speed, and the next moment a fist was slammed into the nose of Neji as blood spurted out as Neji was slammed into the nearby wall. As Neji gritted his teeth as he stood up, you bastard, you're gonna pay for it, as his Byakugan activated as he entered into the stand. You are within my limit of divination. And just like that, 2 palms, 8 palms, 16 palms, 32 palms, 64 palms, as he released a barrage of strikes towards Naruto, who had still had the bored expression on his face, and just like that, his hands started to move within blurs, as both of the hands of Naruto and Neji started to clash together, as Neji was shocked, while on the other hand, Hiyashi stood up, not believing that what was happening. Someone was blocking the prize technique of the Hyuga clan. It was not how it was supposed to be. Neji was the prodigy of the Hyuga clan. He was the genius and he was supposed to win here and bring pride to the Hyuga family. He did not care that Neji was a side branch member. It would only bring more glory to them, seeing that how his side branch members are this powerful, then how powerful would the main branch family would be. And now this outcast and a loser of Namikaze Uzumaki family is not gonna stop him from doing that. as Neji jumped back, not you can say understanding how it was even possible. How could a loser like Naruto could block his techniques? He was a Hyuga, he was a but before he could complete his thought, Naruto was in front of him, grabbing him by the head and slamming his face to the ground at such a force that the ground shattered. As Neji let out a scream, his shattered nose was now really shattered to several tiny pieces. He really doubted that someone would be able to get it together again. Naruto kicked him to his stomach, and Neji was sent flying into the wall at such a speed that the wall started to shatter as Naruto started to go through hand signs, fire style. Fire stream jutsu, and just like that, a stream of gigantic fires rushed towards Neji as Neji barely stood up and started to rotate himself as Naruto smirked at that. As he started to push more and more chakra into the stream jutsu as it started to get hotter and hotter. As the Hyuga members stood up, they thought that Neji was impressive by using the main clan technique, the rotation, but Naruto was pushing more chakra. This was one weakness of the rotation. If he keeps doing that, then Neji would run out of chakra and that would hurt him a lot. And just like that, the scream of someone burning could be heard from the fire as Naruto stopped his jutsu as Neji one arm was badly burnt and one side of his face was showing some burns at the same time as Neji was clutching his arm as he could not believe it. His technique was supposed to stop any and all ninjutsu, but this guy was really something else. He was able to push through his technique and keep pushing it until he had to stop his rotation as he was running out of chakra. He was barely able to stop that fire from burning him completely into dust as he glared towards Naruto, but with a bit of fear in his eyes. As Naruto put a one foot towards Neji, as Naruto's body started to surround with chakra, as Kushina's eyes widened as she quickly grabbed the railing. The chakra she was sensing, it was not just genin level, it was not even Chunin level, it was you can say bordering low cage level chakra. As Naruto simply looked towards Neji with a smirk on his face. Well, Neji, it seemed that you are fated not just to be a side member slave, but you are fated to be just a loser after all. Huh? Did you honestly believe that a side branch member of like yourself would be ever be able to achieve something in its life? As Naruto started to laugh, why don't you accept that your fate is nothing to be but be a bitch for the main side of the branch of the family? As Neji, this was each and every strike to his ego, to his pride, for everything he believed in. He always believed that it does not matter that if he's a side branch member, he one day would be able to prove himself to be worthy enough to be a match for any main branch member, but now this was all strike to his pride, to his beliefs, and all of them started to crumble inside of his eyes as Naruto vanishes as he appeared in front of Neji with one finger on its head, and just like that, Naruto flipped forehead of the Neji as his forehead protector was simply sent flying as Neji was on the ground sealed for everyone to see as Naruto looked towards Neji with pity in his eyes. Well, Neji, it seemed that this was the end of the road, and just like that, fire started to surround Naruto's hand and started to bring out a orb of utter fire and destruction as Naruto looked towards Neji, ready to release the attack. But Genma stepped in. Alright, the match is over. The winner, Naruto Uzumaki Namakase. As Naruto looked towards Neji, that in the eyes, fear in the eyes of Neji was more than enough recognition he wanted at the moment. And just like that, the fire disappeared from his hand. And Naruto started to walk away as Genma was looking Naruto with, you can say, a lot of contempt in his eyes. He was really wary of the scale. The chakra he was sensing, it dwarfed his it was at least triple of his own chakra reserves, and he was a Jonin. Everyone in the village knew that Naruto was not meant to be a shinobi because of his low chakra reserves and his crippled chakra pathway. How is this even possible? As many of the clan heads started to whisper among themselves, while on the other hand Minato could not believe it. The chakra he sensed, it almost matched his own, which were mid-Jonin, mid cage level reserves as his eyes narrowed towards Naruto, something was really off here, and he had to get the bottom of it as soon as possible. While Manma and Naruto looked towards each other, they really never had a relationship with their brother to speak of. They always taunt him because their parents never stopped them. They, you can say, not like hated him, not jealous of it. It was like no relationship whatsoever. They only thought that Naruto was inferior to them, and their parents always encouraged that thought. So they never learned the lesson. But you cannot just stop one thing which is planted in your subconscious, which was Naruto was inferior to them. So no matter how much of the heights they will see Naruto climbing, a part of them will always tell them that they could do better and they were superior to him. And that was a thought that was going through in their heads that they could do better and they will defeat him and show him his true place, and that was beneath them as they smirk at that thought. And finally, Naruto arrived as Abisu was now looking towards Naruto with weary eyes. He really did not knew how that was even possible. The technique Naruto used was a beatdown technique. Hell, he could not do that. As he looked towards Naruto, as all the Jonins were now looking towards him, with some of them with awe, some of them with contempt, and some of them with confusion, at the same time wondering what was actually going on here. And finally, the matches started to begin, and now it was fight between Sasuke Uchiha and Gaara of the desert as the match started to begin. As the match goes mainly the same to the canon, but one different as Sasuke bring out one seal as Kakashi gave him a seal after Minato told him that how Gaara was a Jinchuriki, and if things started to get a bit out of hand, then he would have to use this seal. And just like that, Sasuke, you can say, stamped the seal to his stomach as Gaara's transformation stopped. And just like that, he got knocked out for the first time in his whole life. He slapped, while on the other hand, the Sand could not believe it that their trump card was simply taken down that easily, while on the other hand, Orochimaru was pissed. They had to wait for some time until they could remove the seal, and after that they will attack immediately. For now, the next matches are about to be begin. And now the final match is going to be one of the final matches is going to be Manma versus Sasuke Uchiha. And the match began. No matter how powerful Sasuke was, even with the Chidori, Manma had the Rasengan and the chakra of the Kyuubi, so he was able to defeat Sasuke. As Sasuke wanted to use his Gust mark, but because of the stronger seal with Kushina and Minato present, he was unable to do anything, and which made him even more furious. As Orochimaru was smirking, thinking that how this was the moment this will push Sasuke even further, showing that how Konoha was not giving him more power and he will come to him. And he had a smirk on his face, and now the proctor spoke up. Well, Lord Hokage, we have, you can say, odd number for the finalists. As Minato was really surprised, he never believed that he would see this list. The final match is going to be a three-way match, which was going to be Naruto Uzumaki Namikaze versus Menma Uzumaki and Naruto Namikaze. And all the members, some of them were started to whisper, as many of the civilians believed that Naruto was influenced by the Kyuubi, by the demon, so they never trusted him. And that was the cause of the animosity, especially after seeing those whisker marks. But he has shown them good matches, and many of the civilians present there came out of Konoha, so many of them were cheering for the fight. After all, these three, in their eyes, were the children of the Hokage, so they will show them good matches, as Minato sighed but nodded nonetheless. No matter how powerful Naruto has gotten, Menma and Naruto will work together as a team and they will defeat Naruto. There was no question at that. Hopefully, Naruto will not take his defeat too hard. And after seeing that he has cage level chakra reserves, he would have to have a talk with Kushina for not pushing Naruto out of the whole Shinobi program. After all, with that chakra reserves, he would be a valuable asset in the future. Maybe not as powerful as Menma and Naruto, but definitely powerful enough for the future. Who knows, he could even help Menma and Naruto fulfill their destiny as the heroes they were, as they nodded at that thought, while on the other hand Jiraiya had his eyes narrowed towards Naruto. Late night, he has gotten another message from the doors that something was off, the destiny was changing, the premonition was rippling, was something was causing it to ripple, something that was not supposed to be, something that was never meant to be, was happening, and it will change the destiny itself. As Jiraiya had his eyes narrowed towards Naruto, he had a hunch, a feeling in his gut that Naruto was the cause of it, but how? He had to get the bottom of it as soon as possible. As Naruto appeared in front of Manma and Naruto, as Manma looked towards Naruto. Well, I never expected that, Naruto. Look at that. Isn't it our loser brother? As Naruto smirked at that, it seemed that he was lucky enough to meet us here. But we will have to show him his true place as soon as possible, otherwise it would get to his mind. Wouldn't you agree, brother? As Manma nodded at that, of course. Will you like to take the honors, Naruto? As Naruto smirked at that with pleasure as Janma stood back after saying that the match has officially begun as Naruto lunged towards Naruto with blinding speed, while on the other hand Menma started to go through hand sign as he released a torrent of jutsus of shurikens engulfed in wind chakra as all of them rushed towards Naruto as Naruto was ready with a sword ready to show him his true place. But before she could do anything, Naruto grabbed the hand of Naruto which was holding the sword and Naruto blocked all the, you can say, coming shurikens with the sword of Naruto and simply head bumped her to her head. And Naruto was dazed for a moment as a kick was slammed into his gut as blood came from her face as Menma lunged towards Naruto, but before he could do anything, Naruto grabbed Naruto from the hair and pushed it towards Menma, and Menma had to grab Naruto as soon as possible, as Naruto had hatred in her eyes as she glared towards Naruto with as much hate as possible. You damn bastard! You will pay for it! As she rushed towards Naruto, completely forgetting about the teamwork, as Menma sighed but started to go through hand sign as he said Naruto now, as Naruto nodded and released a barrage of fire jutsu, and Menma released a wind style jutsu as the fire started to get hotter and hotter. Naruto made a single hand style fire style as a smirk at that. This was from the repertoire of Hashirama Senju, who knew that he had a liking for fire jutsu, especially this one from his old friend, Fire Style. Majestic destroyer flame, and just like that, the fire of Menma and Naruto was engulfed in a tsunami of fire which rushed toward both Menma and Naruto, as both of them were shocked to see the fire that was coming towards them, as both of them looked towards each other and nodded, and just like that, their bodies were engulfed with one tail worth of Kyuubi's chakra, and they started to go through hand sign, releasing a water wall and a earth wall to stop the fire, but it was not to be, as a gigantic boom occurred in the center of the stadium. When the dust settled, both Menma and Ruko had some burns on their sides, but one tail worth of Kyuubi chakra was able to save their hearts for now, and the wounds were healing drastically. As Menma stood up, it seemed that we underestimated you, loser. But it's about time that I show you your true place as he looked towards Naruto, who nodded as both of them started to go through hand signs. And just like that, there were hundreds of Menma and Naruto as all of them started to prepare Rasengans in their hands as Jiraiya smirked. Those children are genius with that kind of teamwork and their efforts. They will defeat Naruto and after that they will fight among themselves. He had complete belief in Menma. He's gonna win this all. Naruto may be powerful, but she was not as powerful as Menma. As all of the, you can say, Menma and Naruto rushed towards Naruto with Rasengan in their eyes, as with Rasengan in their hands, as they rushed towards Naruto. As Naruto simply, you can say, closes his eyes and then a smirk came to his face as he started to laugh. And then when he opened his eyes, there were gasps from the Jonin, especially Jiraiya, who could not believe his eyes. It was not how it was supposed to be. How is this even possible? As a ripple pattern could be shown in Naruto's eyes as he spoke one word, Shinra Tensai. And just like that, a dome of gravitational force erupted from Naruto's body, and all of the shadow clones of Menma and Ruko were simply destroyed. The gravitational force slammed into both Menma and Ruko as they were launched into the wall. As now Naruto was standing in front of both of them with Rinnegan shining in his eyes. As Jiraiya could not understand it, how is this even possible in one generation? It was not possible that a Rinnegan could be shot in only 30 years in two people. He knew that Nagato was dead, but Naruto, how is this even possible that he could awaken the Rinnegan? And while on the other hand Minato was standing, while on the other hand Orochimaru could not believe his eyes. These were the eyes of the leader of the Akatsuki, and he knew damn well that he was not dead. So this kid also had the Rinnegan. How was this even possible? It seemed that he has gotten his next host after all. Sasuke was no longer worth it. Who cared about the Sharingan when you can have the Rinnegan? He almost brought out his tongue to lick himself, but he, you can say, stopped himself, knowing that Minato or the Ambus would notice that. As Minato could not understand it, how this was even possible. Naruto was never supposed to have the Rinnegan, and he knew damn well everything about the Rinnegan, as Jonins were whispering among themselves, as well as the clan heads and the council, while the civilians knew nothing about it. So they were intrigued at the same time, as Naruto put his hand towards both Manma and Naruto, Bansho, Tanin, and just like that, both of them rushed towards Naruto. As Naruto, you can say, had his both of his two arms appear from his back with rods in their hands, ready to slam it into Manma and Naruto and take them down. But Naruto released a fire style technique towards Naruto, as Naruto had to cancel the technique as he brought his hands out, and just like that, the fire was absorbed in his hand as Manma and Naruto were panting. That gravitational push really mess up their insides. Something was off with it anyways, as Manma looked towards Naruto. I do not know what is going on here, but you honestly believe that if those so-called dojutsu of yours is gonna stop me, then you have another thing coming, you damn loser. And just like that, three tails erupted from Merma as Naruto nodded at that. And just like that, three tails appeared from her back as both of them started to go through hand sign, summoning jutsu. And just like that, you can say two gigantic toads appeared. You know the gigantic toads other than Gambunta, as both Manma and Naruto were standing on top of it, still in the tail beast form, as they started to whisper to their summons to attack Naruto, as Naruto smirked at that. Well then, if you want it that way, then you shall have it. As Naruto goes through hand sign, wood style, as gigantic Buddha, and just like that, a gigantic structure of wood erupted from the ground, and a shadow washed over the summons of Menma and Ruko, who simply could not believe their eyes. And you can say now Naruto was standing over a structure. A dragon was engulfed on top of it, as the dragon started to rotate around, the summons who tried to free themselves, but the veins that were coming from the ground simply trapped them, and just like that, started to squeeze them. After some time, they started to get knocked out and dispelled themselves. At this point, really, Jiraiya did not understand what was going on here. He was convinced that this was just a dream. And nothing more than that, while Tsunade had her eyes widened, she never thought that she would see the Mokiton once again. She already knew everything about the Tenzo and how he was, you can say, made by Orochimaru, but she never thought that this was not the result of an experiment. This was the original damn deal. This was the Mokidan of her grandfather. And now, while on the other hand, Orochimaru really almost on the verge of an orgasm. A kid who had the Rinnegan and the power of the Shodaime Hokage of the wood style. That kid is gonna be his next vessel no matter what. He will go to the ends of the world if he really had to. And he had a smirk on his face as Minato was almost about to simply knock himself out. At that point, as Kushina had her eyes widened as Naruto started to go through hand sign, as I said, "Are you ready, Manma, Naruto? Because this ends here." And just like that, the veins erupted from the ground and started to surround Manma and Naruto. They tried to use Kyuubi's chakra to release themselves, but it was not gonna happen. And just like that, a gigantic, you can say, struggle began as Naruto appeared with a Rasengan in his eyes, a Odama Rasengan, as he slammed it into the ground as the dust erupted from the ground, blocking the vision of everyone that was present there. As Naruto simply walked towards Venma and Ruko, who were down, and grabbed both of them, making a shadow clone. His hand started to glow, and seals erupted from his hand, rushing inside of the 8 tetrachrom. While on the other hand, in the cage of Kyuubi, who could not understand that a kid has the Rinnegan, and it was damn Rinnegan, and the Mokitan of the Shodaime Hokage, how that was even possible, but he was shocked when something erupted from the area, and it was none other than Naruto. The unconscious form of Menma and Ruko inside of their respective mindscape was still floating as Naruto appeared in front of the cage of Kyuubi with his Rinnegan shining as Kyuubi narrowed his gaze. Who are you, child? You're no normal kid. I could sense the power of the Shodaime Hokage. Not only that, many other powers. How did you get this power? As Naruto looked towards him, I have a deal for you, Kyuubi. If you want you to be released from this prison, then I do have a deal for you. As Kyuubi narrowed his eyes, what are you talking about? As Naruto said, well, it's an offer to you. I will release all of your chakra as well as a part of your subconscious, leaving behind some of your chakra will regenerate over time, but it will help you to be in the outside world, but as my personal summit, of course. And not only that, you will tell me the secret to obtain the ultimate chakra as well, the chakra of the world, because I know for a fact a being as old as you will know everything. As Cuban narrowed his gaze, and what if I do not accept your offer? As Naruto simply shrugged, it will not change anything because it will make no difference because I will get what I want. As Kyuubi narrowed his gaze, I do not trust you, human. I do not know how did you get those eyes, but they do not belong to you. As he lunged towards Naruto with his arm extended. Well then, it is too bad. You have to die. And just like that, Naruto's body was impaled by Kyuubi in both of the respective mindscape, but Naruto simply smirked as his body changed into seals and started to wash all over Kyuubi as Kyuubi was shocked as he tried to, you can say, release himself, but it was not working. And just like that, his body started to go into a slumber of never being awakened. And just like that, Naruto absorbed all the chakra of Kyuubi from the both sides of it and put it into a special seal because he knew that he simply cannot absorb that kind of chakra just yet. And just like that, those seals appeared inside of Naruto's body. As Naruto smirked at that, Kyuubi will never be able to tell it to anyone because he is in slumber for at least 100 years. As he smirked at that, and just like that, the dust settled down, and they saw the unconscious form of both Menma and Miruko. And Naruto was standing at the center of it all, with his arm folded. And Proctor hesitantly finally came coming out of his slumber, appeared in front of Naruto, and looked towards him with awe in his eyes as he looked towards the Hokage, who was shocked at the same time. Winner, Naruto Uzumaki Namikaze, and just like that, the whole arena erupted into cheers. The council members could not believe their eyes. They never had anything against Naruto because in their eyes he was just a waste of space. But still, for someone to have this kind of power, they definitely needed him to be on their side. And just like that, they started to make plans in their heads, and Minato finally, you can say, looked towards Naruto in awe and a bit of suspicion in his eyes, while on the other hand, Jiraiya was perfectly sure that how Naruto was the cause in the change of the destiny, something that was never supposed to be. How is this even possible? Someone to have the Rinnegan and the Mokiton, that guy would be the next, you can say, the sage of the sixth path. But hey guys, but before they could say anything, the whole, you can say, arena erupted into chaos. The feathers started to fall, and the shinobi started to appear. The sand shinobi and the stone shinobi started to fight. And Proctor, you can say, Jiraiya spoke up. Shinobis, get ready. This is an invasion. This is a war. And just like that, the whole place erupted into chaos. So yeah, guys, here I will left this part. Hopefully, you guys will enjoy it. In the next part, we will see many of the other fights between Naruto and Orochimaru, and you can say the offer from the Akatsuki or many other ideas I have in mind. Nothing is certain now. If you have new ideas, new interesting ideas, tell me in the comment section. I will think about it and I will put them in the story if I like it. So please guys, like and especially subscribe and comment, comment and comment. So yeah guys, peace.